Chris.
Welcome to episode 2 of Weekly Talk featuring Dave and Chris. This is Dave.
I'm Chris.
And today we actually have a bunch of topics to go over, including the new Modern Warfare trailer, multiplayer trailer. We also have Spider-Man, MGK, Eminem, a bunch of discussions involving that. I do want to actually touch on what's trending first, which is actually a lot of things trending within the last couple months. One being tampering with food, specifically licking ice cream at grocery stores. This is actually...
It's a couple months old.
It is a couple months old, but it actually went farther than just licking ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
You got people like spitting in mouthwash, shampoo.
I saw the mouthwash.
Did you see the shampoo?
One. No.
Somebody took Nair, put it in a shampoo bottle. Someone bought it, and when they used it, she was like pulling clumps of hair out of her head.
Yeah, at what point is this like felonious act?
Right. Well, it's a felony once you do it, and I believe it's like 25 years that people can get for tampering with food, and that's in the food industry.
Good. I mean, if you're gonna lick my ice cream, I deserve to know that you got punitive action.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I don't think that's acceptable in any nature, whether you're doing it to be cool on like Twitter or Facebook or whatever. It's just not cool. I mean, nobody wants to eat.
If you're gonna do it, maybe do it without a video.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could.
Other than the aspect of trying to be cool, why else are you doing it?
Mainly because I guess it's trending and everybody wants to show off, hey, I did this too. Same with all these, challenges, like the Get Up Challenge, that's user-friendly.
The what?
The Get Up Challenge.
What is that?
Just a dance. They go to I can't remember the song. The song's name is like Get Up by, I can't remember who. But
Lil Nas X?
I don't know, sure.
I don't know.
No, but like there's some user-friendly ones out there, but yeah, that's not user-friendly, and that should never be done. Another one within the last couple months was storming Area 51, and I was actually laughing this morning because I was actually doing some more research into that, and there's actually a website set up specifically for storming Area 51. There's actually a Facebook group as well.
We don't condone this.
No, we definitely don't condone this, and we'll actually go into why. But there's a Facebook group set up with 2 million people that say they're going to storm Area 51, and I believe the dates are between September 20th and September 22nd. All
right, that's 2 million people that the Air Force has no problem with wiping off the map.
Exactly. If you're storming Area 51, don't think you're going in without a fight, because they will gun you down.
And if you think that they can't stop you all, they can. You have foot support with almost no weaponry. They have air support with almost every weaponry.
Exactly. And my thing is, what are you setting out to accomplish? Like,
I don't know where
to see an alien?
I thought the memes were funny.
I mean,
but
yeah,
other
Chuck
than the
Norris.
Memes, I don't know where this began.
I don't either. I mean,
there was a pretty cool 21 Pilots meme where he was running out with Ned. So that was kind of funny. But
yeah, I mean, aside from the memes being pretty hilarious, it's not a good idea. So anybody who's planning on storming Area 51, reconsider. If you do, you're an idiot.
I approve that message. For sure.
Right, exactly.
What else we got? We got Orange is the New Black. Final season. That just came out. It's on Netflix. Everybody in the world pretty much has Netflix. And if you don't, you're piggybacking off somebody else. You should probably pay them some money.
Right. I mean, it's not that expensive anyway. It's like $7 or $8 a month.
But this is one of their... It's like a flagship, man. They pretty much got millions of followers because of Orange is the New Black. And that's come to an end. So hopefully they can find something to, build the same momentum.
Yeah, no, I actually watched the season up. I think I'm at the end of season 5, I want to say.
Yeah?
Whenever the riot broke out. But that's where I stopped, and I never continued. I don't know why. But usually my wife watches it. So.
You lose interest after a year and a half of waiting. I mean, that's with every show, I guess.
Yeah.
In the binge-worthy era. So there was a recent mother who was at Disney World, and her post on, I want to say it was Twitter, but it went viral because she was bitching about how people who don't have children should not be at Disney World. And she kind of called one woman out. She said, this little slut over here who's eating a pretzel should be kicked out because she made my kid cry because he wanted a pretzel. Alright, so how did those two things go hand in hand? How does this girl eating a pretzel make your kid cry?
Right, buy your child a pretzel.
Right? And she even says, I don't want to wait in that long-ass line. My bad.
So you want to ban everybody without children?
Yeah, Disney World isn't a place for just kids, man. I didn't get to go there as a kid. Guess what I want to do? I want to go to Disney World.
Exactly. I mean, I went there as a kid, but I'd definitely go again.
Alright, I'm not into the football world. This guy might be. There's talk about Phil Dawson coming back to the Browns to retire.
Yeah, I'm definitely not too into the sports scene, but my dad is, and he follows the Browns a lot, and he knows basically everything there is. But I do recall Phil Dawson when I actually used to watch football, and he, I guess, signed a short contract with the Browns, I believe this year. I don't know how long the contract is. I don't know.
Solely to retire?
It's, from what I was reading, it's, so he could retire as a Brown. Now, I don't know if that contract is one game. I don't know if it's 5 games. I don't know if it's the whole season. I hope it's the whole season.
Nothing against him, but what do you want to retire as a winner?
Wow. My dad would have some comments about that.
Because... I hope he should. I hope he does, man. I hope he does. Hit us up at WTF, DaveandChris@gmail.com. I hope he is.
Right.
Let's move on to the behind-the-scenes look at creating Fat Thor. I'm pretty sure
Bro Thor is, I guess, his...
What's his name?
Bro Thor.
Bro Thor. All right.
Yeah.
Because of the Big Lebowski, bro.
Right.
All right. So,
and that's what people say. Looks. I didn't know who that was until we were actually at the movies with my brother, and he said that. I'm like, dude, I don't even know what you're talking about.
At Comic-Con, I saw this dude who, he already had the body figure. Let's just go with that. And he was calling himself Big Thorbowski. So I thought that was pretty clever. I was like, all right, so these people are kind of running with it. But the video's probably got well over 1 billion views. I don't fucking know. Anything related to Marvel or Avengers pretty much gets views instantly. Not like my podcast, but...
Right. I know, I actually want to go back a little bit, because there was actually a news article the other day that was talking about a lady who got arrested in Walmart.
Oh, my God.
This is in, I believe it was PA.
That close to us, too.
Yeah,
man.
it's pretty close. So she got arrested for pissing on a bag of potatoes. Now, that kind of goes into tampering with food, obviously. Don't do it. But you walk through the door of Walmart. You gotta piss, okay?
There's a bathroom.
You look to the left.
Yes.
The bathroom is closer than the bag of potatoes in the produce aisle. What makes you think that is the spot you're gonna piss?
Oh, man. I know there's going to be a lot of echo on this one.
I really hope that is not the new trend. But I'd be, I actually wouldn't be shocked if that happened.
I'm hoping that's the only time we hear that.
Right.
Otherwise, avoid buying potatoes, man. You might want to
really avoid buying several items in the store.
Yeah, so far we can't eat ice cream, we can't eat potatoes, we can't drink mouthwash, and we certainly can't wash our hair. What else can we do?
Exactly.
Wow, that one's different, man.
So I want to jump into gaming, unless you have anything else that's
nope.
trending. I know Chris is pumped for this.
Call of Duty, man. I've been waiting for this talk all week.
We will get to Call of Duty, but there's a couple things I want to bring up first. I was actually on PlayStation the other day, and there was actually a demo, which it was a weird demo. It was NHL, okay, hockey.
Well,
it's a weird demo, but
we got people saying we don't talk about sports games.
There you go.
Here we go.
So NHL, it's 2020, and I played it, and I've never played a hockey game in my life. I used to play like Madden, but that's about as sports as I got on PlayStation or console at all. So looking at NHL, they had a free download, so I downloaded it. Started playing it, and I could say from the user interface, probably not a game I would get because it's very confusing, especially if you don't know any hockey terms, which I did not. However, playing the game was actually very exciting. It's basically like if you're watching hockey on the TV and you're rooting for a team and they go in and they score a goal and like the whole stadium erupts. It had me feeling like that every time a goal was scored. And like I said, I'm not into hockey, but it was pretty fluid gameplay. And I played it for a little bit, and I actually rather enjoyed it. So if that demo is still alive, I'd definitely recommend it.
Back to the sports though. There's a fella named Dylan. He wants us to talk about Madden 2020. I've been doing some research. I want Dave to research it, and we'll get back to you next week on that one.
Right. I do. All I know about that so far is that it was released, I think, a couple days ago.
I don't think it's gonna be good, but I don't like sports games.
I stopped playing Madden. Back in Xbox 360 days. I want to say it was like Madden 05 or something. I don't know.
But yeah, we'll get back with you next week on the whole.
But
Madden
yeah,
thing.
we'll look it up and give you some details on that. And the game I'm actually playing now, I need to complete. I'm actually almost at the end of it. It's Detroit Become Human.
Ooh.
This game,
It's a choose your fate game. I love the choose your fate games. Choose
Exactly.
Your story.
The decisions you make in the game affect how the story progresses through the campaign. Well, this game was actually released like a year ago.
Yeah.
They actually ran a free update on PlayStation for anybody with PlayStation Plus to get this game for free. So obviously I wanted to play it, so I figured I'd get it.
I'm too cheap for PS Plus, so I did not get it. However, I played the demo, and what I liked about the demo was it seemed like they want like a challenge is to go through and accomplish every scenario that you can get per episode.
Right. Now, the demo you played, was it the first episode where you're trying to talk the guy off the cliff?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, off of the jumping off the building.
With the little girl.
Yep.
That was pretty exhilarating, especially because you got to look for different clues. You kind of got to investigate the area. But the story behind it is you live in a world with androids. These androids can be bought and sold at stores, and they're not technically people. They just do whatever you need them to do. They'll do the housework. They'll investigate crimes. They'll do essentially whatever you want. But there comes a time in the game where the androids start fighting back.
Oh.
And they start fighting back, and that's why it's, become human, because...
So the cop, are you the same person for every episode?
No.
No.
You are... I think I've switched between 3 point of views, and it's different. You got that detective that you played the demo with. Then you have this woman that is kind of a housekeeper for this guy, but this guy is very abusive toward his family and his daughter, and you actually have to save the daughter, and that's when the revolt starts with her.
All right. Cool.
And then there's another scenario where you're like interrogating this guy, and you make the wrong decision, and it could turn bad. I know my wife loves these games because she loves to make the decisions and she loves to follow the stories. So it's really nice for her. But she ended up killing 4 people in 3 minutes because of the decision she made. There was another game, Until Dawn, which reminded me of this game because of how...
I'm told if you haven't played Until Dawn before you played Become Human, you should probably check out Until Dawn. I don't know that they work together, but I know that the gameplay is similar.
The gameplay is very similar. Until Dawn's a little more dark and gloomy, scary.
Yeah, it's pretty dark.
But the story, follow the story, it's pretty crazy, and the decisions you make will affect the storyline. I know I got the game, and the character on the cover, I can't remember exactly her name, but she's like the main character. So I'm going through the whole story, and I've killed off a couple people, my bad. And then I get to the end, and I just wanted to keep her alive because she's the freaking main character. I mean, why wouldn't you keep her alive?
So you beat Until Dawn?
Yes.
I have not.
However, in I think it was about the last 10 seconds of the movie, or it's a movie, basically. The last 10 seconds of it, you're standing in a room and these creatures are trying to find you, but they can't see you. They can sense movement, vibrations, they can smell you, and you have to hold the PlayStation controller as still as possible.
That's when you put it on your table.
I did.
And wait.
I did. I ended up bumping my table. And the guy came in, took my character, ripped her in half.
Oh, man.
Then the other people were able to escape. But I was just mind blown at how I kept this girl alive the entire time and then killed her within the last 5 seconds of the game.
Doubt.
So I was pretty upset about that.
So Until Dawn is rated 7.5 out of 10 by IGN, and Become Human is rated 8 out of 10. So those are both definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, and IGN reviews, I find them, to my personal preference, to be very accurate.
Yeah, I mean, it's way better than, like, Rotten Tomatoes for movies. At least they're trying to come in with, like, an unbiased approach.
Right, I agree. I know some reviews I'll see and they'll be like 4 or 5, but it's a game that I really want and I really want to try. So, I mean, you never want to solely base buying a game off of their opinion, and I'd play it, yourself. And I've done that several times.
Look, man, Ghostbusters on Amazon, people were saying it was phenomenal, and I thought that game was fucking doo-doo. So, definitely don't base it off of other people's opinions.
Yeah, there's another Ghostbusters game that I saw a little bit of gameplay out, but it's not something that I would get, I don't think.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of that.
Let's move on to this Call of Duty, man.
That's the next topic here, because the multiplayer trailer was launched Thursday. The launch of the trailer, my first impressions, I did not actually know it was multiplayer.
Oh, no. The trailer on August 1st?
That was the one on August 1st. I didn't know it was multiplayer. I knew they were revealing multiplayer. I'm like, oh, this is just setting up multiplayer, It looked like campaign. It looked like campaign footage.
That looked dope.
Yeah, it looked incredible.
Dude, I wrote this whole monologue about how I feel, man. So I'll let Dave do his talking, and then I'll tell you how I feel about it.
So the game itself looks incredible. And the developers actually went in to describe how they made the game come to life, essentially. I guess they have this special 3D printer that allows them to take photos.
Oh, yeah.
And allows them to take personal items, put them in the scanner, and put them into the system.
Well, I was reading about that with when they announced it at E3. I read shortly after that they were taking pictures of, like, the California wildfires, so that some of the cars in the video game actually had that realistic fire. Pretty much, the image mapping is pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's impressive. It's on point. I did see there's a couple. I know they have the new engine that they're using. A couple of the scenes that you see of people dying in it actually look realistic. Even when you're watching gameplay, like, they fall realistically. It's not like the bodies come apart and the arms are flailing around. I mean, it looks realistic.
It looks almost like you're watching a movie. When you shoot somebody and you see the way that they fall, the mannerism of that person, you would almost think that you were actually serving, in war. I'm not trying to say Call of Duty's like war. I'm trying to say that the graphics make you think that they've been to war. Right,
exactly. There's actually a controversy going on now about one of the kill streaks in this Call of Duty. They have a lot of kill streaks that people would recognize. They have, like, the Pavlo. I think they call it a support helo.
Do they have the nuke?
They do have the nuke, and that was displayed at the end of the trailer. Unfortunately, nobody at that event got a nuke, so we can't confirm if it's 25 kills, if it's 30 kills, if it's just with your weapon. Because I know Modern Warfare 2, that when you get a nuke, you actually
Pavlo help.
Yeah, exactly. You put that Harrier on, you put the Pavlo.
7 kills gets you up to 9, which gets you up to 13.
Exactly.
I mean, so yeah, if it's all individual kills, that's going to be rough.
I know. I kind of hope it goes with the kill streaks again, just because, you can make it 30 kills, that's fine, but 30 kills with a gun is actually extremely hard.
Yeah. First off, the ammo. Second off, I mean, at some point, you just... I don't know. It's just almost next to impossible.
Exactly.
If you've ever tried to spend a whole night going for the nuke, you know that when you try for it, it don't happen.
Exactly.
It's just one of those rare good games.
And if you have high anxiety, you're probably not going to be able to get it. And in Modern Warfare 2, I could get a nuke. I've gotten it several times. But recently, I cannot go on a 25 to 30 gun streak alone, because you'll get that. You're like, okay, I'm at 20. 21, and your hands like start shaking. You don't know what to do. You have a complete breakdown.
You just built up so much anticipation, and you're afraid of that letdown.
Right. There's a new thing with Call of Duty as well with opening doors. They added in the ability to open doors, and they didn't. It's not just like you go up to the door and you open it. You can actually crack open the door. You can.
So like a sneak attack.
Exactly. You can. In the trailer, they actually cracked open the door, threw like a stun grenade in there, then opened the door fully, and then took everybody out.
That's pretty good.
So you have the tactical advantage of that. You can, if you continue running, you'll just go right. You'll burst right through the door. You don't even have to press a button. If you put C4 on the door, it'll also open it. So I'm very interested to see how that's used, especially with modes like Domination, Headquarters, which is back. So that's going to be.
I've always been a team deathmatch, man. Hardcore team deathmatch was pretty much where we sit.
Yeah. Oh, hardcore. Speaking of hardcore, they changed it. In hardcore, it's called like realism now, and you don't have the HUD like normal, less health like normal. However, you don't see points come up. You don't see any indication that you killed the person. There's no hit indicators. There's nothing. If you're shooting, exactly. If you're shooting through a wall, you need to check to make sure you killed him because you can't. There's nothing.
You got to hit select to see if you got another kill.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I guess that's an option, or go in the room and see if you killed him.
I'll just hit select, man. If I ain't kill him, I'll go the other direction.
Exactly. They added night vision as well, which is going to be a game changer, especially on some maps. They actually have night maps now, which I think it's only it's only a mode itself. So if you go to like team deathmatch, whatever, kill confirmed, there's actually a night playlist to where you play the night maps.
All right, man.
I don't know how I'm
anybody
feeling
who's
about
ever
that.
Served, night vision sucks. Night vision is it's cool, great. What an awesome thing you're looking through. I hope you like horrible depth perception and everything black and green, because that's what you're getting.
Exactly, and that's what you get in the game, because if you flip that switch to take night vision off, it is real. Like, it's black. You know, you can see some lights here and there, some fire in the distance, whatever, but for the most part, it's black. So you need your night vision in those modes. To get into kill streaks some more, because the best thing about this Call of Duty, I think, is switching from score streaks to kill streaks.
Okay.
Score streaks.
I like score streak.
Well, I like score streaks because you can capture a point and it goes on to, your score that you need to get the score streak. However, you're in a small map with a team that's completely dominating. You have a helicopter above. That dies. Another helicopter up. That dies. Another helicopter up. It makes it very uneven gameplay on certain maps for the other team. So kill streaks are nice because it shows that you have skill to get to that level.
Right.
And you actually earn them. So I do like that. The one score streak that's kind of a big controversy now is the white phosphorus. And that is kind of like a chemical attack that goes over.
I imagine.
You can imagine.
I hope you can paint a picture of what you would think it is.
The controversy now is having that in the game, because this was used not just against people in war, basically, yeah. It's not used against people just in war, soldiers, whatever. It's actually used against civilians as well. And I understand, where people are coming with that. I get it. However, it is a game.
If you're offended about everything, you're offended by nothing.
Yeah. If you think about the weapons that are in the game, for instance, AK-47, AK-74U, the M4, those weapons, I'm sure you believe, have been used against civilians and military alike. So to call out one kill streak is basically saying there should be no Call of Duty because it's all offensive.
I want you to look at the game in which you're purchasing. I want you to look at the rating of this game. All right? They don't put these ratings on there for no reason. If it's rated mature, or if it's rated, what is it going to be rated? Teen?
I think it's mature.
Mature?
I'm pretty sure
if it's rated mature, then come at it with a mature approach of mine.
If you actually look at the campaign and some of the levels they have in it, yeah, it could be just as bad. Do you remember that mission in Modern Warfare 2 where you storm through the airport and you're on like the side of the Russians and you have to start killing everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big.
I think I remember them saying that, or didn't they give you the option to cut that out?
I believe they did. They do. If you go into settings, you can.
There's a snowflake
You
method.
can cut all that out. You can get rid of the blood. You can get rid of all that stuff. So, I mean...
But you're only taking away from the game.
Exactly. I mean, if I'm getting a game, I'm going to play it to the fullest. I'm going to play it with however it was made, and that's... I can understand if, you know...
The airport thing was touchy, but...
It was.
It was necessary for the story.
Exactly, and I feel like they're trying to take you into, like, real war scenarios and combat and, you know, kind of give you a taste of that and see what it's actually like on the other side, because it's not all sunshine and rainbows, if you might, you know, notice. So definitely keep an open mind about that. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but I can understand where people are coming from. So they do have new modes as well. I know they have headquarters, domination. I did not see anything about kill confirmed. I hope they have that. But they have bigger modes as well. They have 20v20, 10v10, 6v6, 2v2. And those come with different size maps as well. Like 20v20 will be on obviously larger scale maps. And there's actually a kill streak with a tank that'll go down into...
I saw that.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. Now that tank, if you have that score streak on in a larger map, you get the tank. If you have that score streak on in a smaller map, you get a smaller version of it.
Like an IRC.
I don't know if it's going to be that small, if it's going to be remote controlled. I have no clue. But they say it's a smaller version, so it'll fit the map size, which is nice. In this Call of Duty, a lot of people are excited about it not having a season pass, meaning nothing's holding you to pre-ordering, nothing's holding you to get a certain edition, to get the season pass, paying extra money. All content that's released is going to be released for everyone at no cost. So that's definitely a good thing. I know with the season pass, usually people speculate on microtransactions. Microtransactions in games could happen no matter what.
If it's all cosmetic, I don't care.
A lot of it's cosmetic. I mean, there's some games that go overboard, but a lot of the ones you see are cosmetic related. And, I mean, if somebody wants to buy them, let them buy them. If you don't want to buy them, don't buy them. I mean, nobody's getting an advantage of microtransactions, essentially. But the season pass will be free, so that's good. The gunsmith will be included in this Call of Duty. The gunsmith in past Call of Duties, you were able to like change your paint job, change attachments, whatever. I guess this one's a little different. It gives you more in-depth view. For instance, the AK-74U, I don't believe is a Call of Duty weapon. However, if you take the AK-47 in the gunship, you can modify it to be an exact replica of the AK-74U. So I think that's going to be a game changer too, because that's, you know, an assault rifle, but, you know, I can always use it up close because it's quick firing and pretty deadly. So it's definitely nice. There are additions announced. There were before this reveal. There was, I think, the Prestige Edition or something. I can't remember what I had pre-ordered, but...
What is that? Is it like a hard case with some...
It was hard case. It had a couple visual things in it. Some downloadable content, I think.
But the
however,
edition,
the Dark Edition was announced, and I'm pretty excited about it.
You're gonna feel bummed, man.
Yeah, there's only a limited amount of copies. I know I have mine pre-order. Chris has his pre-ordered.
Look, man, I was at work, and I called somebody who was off that night, and because I just talked to Dave about it, and I looked it up as I'm on the phone with him. I'm like, oh man, this is fucking insane. So I had to call one of my buddies who wasn't at work. And I'm like, look, dude, I got an emergency. I need you to get your ass over to GameStop before they close down and pre-order this game for me. And he's like, well, why can't you do it? I'm like, well, I'm afraid that by the time I have the time, it's going to be gone. That's how hot this item is.
It is, because I've actually, it was, I think, 2-3 years ago, I actually pre-ordered the biggest edition, and they were actually unavailable within an hour. And I was at work when this was announced. So I'm like trying to get somebody to go get it for me. And I'm like, I need you to get this. But I was able to make it to GameStop pre-order, and they did have copies available. However, the content included, you still get everything that the Prestige Edition has. You got the hardcover. You got some little visual stickers or whatever comes in it. And then you have your downloads, which your downloadable content comes with a few operator packs that change the appearance of your character, changes the appearance of your weapon, and those were originally in the Modern Warfare 2 released, where they released these packs, and now they're kind of re-releasing them, but they look a little better. And the main thing in this, like in past Call of Duties, you'll get like the RC car. I think you got like a GoPro camera in one. This actually comes with realistic looking and acting night vision goggles.
Yeah, the specs on this are actually kind of impressive for the price.
Exactly. The price for the whole bundle for the Dark Edition is like $200, I believe, obviously plus tax. But if as a kid, that's one thing you've wanted, night vision goggles. I don't care who you were. Okay, Modern Warfare 2 released night vision goggles as well with that edition. I didn't get that because I didn't play Call of Duty.
They're probably chintzy though.
Yeah, exactly. But with technology now, I feel like these are going to be pretty decent.
They look impressive. I mean,
Exactly.
there's been leaked video or leaked images of what they look like, and they look smoking hot. They look like something that, like you just said, as a kid, that's what I envisioned wearing. That's what I thought was dope.
Exactly. So I'm definitely excited, as a 29-year-old child.
Yes,
I'm definitely excited about
30 years
night
young.
vision.
30 years young.
Exactly.
Keep in mind, every pre-order includes something called calling cards, CODE, and what that stands for is Call of Duty Endowment, and that's going to help find high-quality jobs for unemployed veterans. So every pre-order actually has a benefit. So let's try to make this thing sell out. How about that?
Exactly, and a lot of things go toward that endowment. If you're on PlayStation and you purchase items for Call of Duty, it would go toward that as well.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a good cause, and definitely recommended to participate in that. Call of Duty is available on PS4, Xbox One, and PC on October 25th of this year. However, everybody will get their hands on it in September on the 12th.
So,
and
what,
that is
that's
everybody, because it's actually an open beta. So usually they have like a private beta, but this year they're actually doing.
Don't we get like a pre-beta?
We might. I don't know. There's nothing announced about it. I researched it. GameStop doesn't know anything about it. All I see now is that there is an open beta, and that open beta is going to run on September 12th. It's probably going to be for that weekend, and I'm assuming the following weekend most likely, after they tune some things up and then re-release it. So that'll be nice to jump in, give it a shot. Like I said, you don't need a pre-order to play it. You don't need to spend any money to play it. And you can, try it out for free and see what you think. And we definitely appreciate your thoughts on that subject. So let us know via email, Twitter, however.
Yeah, so, look, man, like I said, I've been waiting all week to tell you guys my very first impression. And I'm going to give it to you. All right. This trailer is beyond amazing. Just try to put your mindset in, a military member or whatever. Just under 3 minutes, this trailer was able to capture my undivided attention, all right? Night vision goes on about 30 seconds in, and as soon as you hear the NVGs click on, you're hit with Metallica. You're hit with, which I'm not a big fan of Metallica, but this song fits. So
that song fit really well.
Very, very good.
It was Enter Sandman, I believe.
You're in a cave, having a shootout, and then, next second, you're in a helicopter. Now you're in a village. You've just launched a drone. It's a perfectly executed bit of chaos. Sleep with one eye open. The burst of the shots are in sync with the music. Doo, 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 doo. It's pretty fucking on point. This whole, the adrenaline that you get from this fucking trailer was just phenomenal. I love that the music is heard faintly as you're in your juggernaut. Like, as you see the trailer and you're in the view of the juggernaut, you can hear the music as if like you had a muffled, headphones on or something like that. Overall, I'm amazed, intrigued, and I'm sold. Like Dave said, we both pre-ordered this freaking $200 plus tax package, but that was because of those fucking night vision goggles, man. Let's be real.
Exactly.
If ever there was a time to pre-order the complete full bundle, this is it. So, all the people that I played with back in the day, we had a clan tag. It was called Center of the World. Keith, Becky, Bobby, Ashley. You better get this shit. Oh, and it's cross-platform, so I don't give a fuck what system you're on. There is no excuse.
No excuse, I agree.
Alright, I know the Call of Duty section took quite a bit of the time. Whatever, man. We were excited. I was excited. Dave was excited. Really happy to announce that we've actually got our first official fan who doesn't fall within that line of family, friend, or coworker. So here's a shout out to Kat. I don't know how to pronounce your last name, but your Twitter handle is K Palomares. Yeah. I'm gonna go with Palomares. If I'm wrong, please feel free to yell at us on Twitter. I have no problem with that. I'm just happy that we have a follower. Brooklyn Boys, man, my favorite podcast in the whole world, gave me a shout out, so that's really cool. I appreciate that. Alright, so on to the MGK world. Machine Gun Kelly. Alright, speaking of him, I have been able to pre-order an extra autographed copy of his Hotel Diablo, which in my eyes is probably the best CD he's put out to date. If you're looking to win that, you're going to have to stay tuned for further episodes, but you have to start listening in order to be one of those winners, because there's going to be a part of each episode that I'm going to ask you for. So, MGK recently had an interview, and of course, Eminem was brought up. There's no debate. Dave and I, we're from Ohio, so guess who we support?
MGK.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. However, I grew up on Eminem. I love the fuck out of some Eminem, but I gotta stay neutral on the whole beef. However, I'm gonna give you an unpopular opinion and say MGK held his own, man.
Yeah, I completely
Rap
agree.
Devil went hard as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, with Killshot and Rap Devil, I'd say Rap Devil definitely took it. Killshot, I mean, I listened to that maybe twice, and I wasn't feeling it. I mean, it was okay, I guess, but yeah, MGK just killed it.
Alright, for an Eminem diss, it felt rushed. It felt like he only put it out because he had to put it out. I mean, they both have replay value. I still have both of them on my Spotify playlist. I won't choose a winner. I can't believe Dave just did.
Sorry.
And it was definitely an unpopular opinion from whatever I've seen.
My apologies.
But I want you to go take a look at this interview with MGK. He talks about how he made Rap Devil out of nothing, pretty much. He heard Eminem's beef. He heard the diss. He's like, man, fuck this shit. You know?
It was like 2 hours after Kamikaze came out.
Yeah. So he's drunk with Odell Beckham Jr. because they just partied for the $100 million contract or whatever, and he's like, man, fuck it, let's do it. He said this is quoted, throw in the Pro Tools, let's burn this motherfucker, pretty much, and that's what they did. They threw on the Pro Tools. They worked something out. He said he sent it over to YBN, which is Corday. I don't know if you guys fuck with that at all. That's a little bit more in the hip-hop world. And YBN said, man, if you're going to go at M, you got to go hard. And MGK's like, what the fuck, man? I just went hard. So then they added the last verse, which in my eyes, that was one of the hardest things. You're going to say, I already fucked one rapper this week. Don't make me call Kim. That's hard. I don't give a fuck where you guys are at. I know you guys everybody's on Eminem's side for some reason, and that's cool, man. It's either here nor there, but I'm gonna have to say MGK. He put up a damn good fight.
I agree.
What the fuck? Oh, he said, put us on a track and let's see who goes harder. Let's go bar for bar. What do you make of that?
I mean, like you were telling me that they might collaborate on an album. Now,
I feel like maybe not an album, but a track.
Or maybe a track. Yeah, I just don't see that happening. Just because how big Eminem is compared to MGK, I mean.
Well, Eminem just did a collaboration with Logic. Logic is probably MGK status,
right?
Maybe a little higher.
I mean, I guess I could see it happening, but
look, so there's a conspiracy
around
the whole beef. Everybody knows that they're both under Interscope. Everybody knows that Interscope profited heavily off of this beef, and both the artists did too. I own a Killshot shirt. I own a Rap Devil shirt. So that's, $40 a shirt. How many people own those shirts? A lot. So everybody knows that this might have been a benefit to the both. So for him to kind of just say, hey, put us on a track together and we'll go bar for bar. That, I don't know, that seems like him telling you something. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm more into the conspiracy side of it. Who knows? I don't have any more opinions on that. I do have an opinion on NF's new album. This fucking thing is hard. I'm tired of people putting him in the bubble of a Christian rapper. He might not cuss.
That's the first time I've heard of that, actually.
You didn't know?
No.
Alright, so NF he doesn't use vulgar language, much unlike me. But he gets the message across.
Are you sure he doesn't use it at all?
He does
I'm
not
pretty
cuss.
sure. I'm gonna have to find this.
So I'm gonna have Dave dig through the plethora of music that NF has.
And I'm not saying it's every other word.
Find me a cuss word.
Okay.
Like other than damn.
Okay.
Damn isn't a cuss word.
Right.
Find me something where he says fuck, shit, piss, cunt, ass, bitch, any of that. Any of that, and we might have a conversation.
All right.
Ariana Grande. So she's been fairly quiet with the whole Sweetener tour, but she just dropped a song called Boyfriend. All right, and this has been received very well. It might dethrone the number one Lil Nas X. We don't know. But I'm kind of curious, is she dating the person she dropped the song with? Which is Social House's, one of Social House's singers. I don't know the guy's name. It's not a big deal. But the reason I asked this is they put this song out together just after she finished a tour in which they opened for her. I saw them both in Columbus. I was pretty happy.
Nice.
Yeah. I just heard about this 16-year-old kid who won some Fortnite championship, and the prize of that was $3 million fucking dollars. Could you imagine if the guy to my left played Fortnite just a little better? How good would this podcast sound if he played Fortnite just a little better?
I agree.
$3 million.
Being 16 years old, winning $3 million, that's crazy. There was actually an interview with him afterwards to kind of go over how he's going to spend the money.
How's he going to spend it?
This is crazy. As a 16-year-old kid, he is getting a new desk and putting out the rest in savings.
You know how I would spend it?
How would you spend? I don't even know.
I guarantee you, I would be broke within probably a year. Let's be realistic. Probably a year. So definitely mad respect to you, you little young 16-year-old motherfucker, you.
Yeah, and I think it's great that you're putting it in savings and gonna invest it.
I'm hoping that
gonna do.
The rest of your life is taken care of because you capitalized on a game that I only know for the flossing dance or whatever.
Flossing. I know a lot of parents when you're younger always say video games will get you nowhere. Well,
yeah. Go tell this.
Look at what just happened.
Hey, mom and dad, how about I just made your whole life?
Yeah, and that qualifier was worldwide, and you sit at home and you play PlayStation to qualify. I think it was top 100, something like that.
So I know that everybody brought home at least $50,000. If you were in the top 100,
if you were a qualifier, I guarantee you had some money.
Yeah, so congratulations to everybody who is now $50,000 richer than I. But
there was actually at that competition there was somebody that was actually banned from Epic Games from cheating, and they don't know how he got in the qualifier, but he was close to the finals. I don't know exactly, maybe semifinals, I don't know. But he came up on the screen, and the whole arena erupted and just started booing him. And then somebody had taken him out, and then everybody just started cheering, and it was just hilarious to see his response. But yeah, I don't know how that cheater got in there, but I'm kind of glad he didn't win.
Alright, so we have a listener. His name is Mitchell. I'm not going to give you his last name. I'm trying to keep last names away from you guys. If you want them, you can find them yourselves. There's not too many people named Mitchell who follow my page. So he requested that we talk about some aliens and shit, which I kind of feel like we talked about a little bit with Area 51, but we didn't really go into the alien side of it. I did some research, and alien hunters believe that they've spotted what they call a shape-shifting UFO over Cambridge, England. If you guys are interested in looking at these images, you can either Google them or you can request them per me at the Twitter page, and I'll just upload them to our Twitter page. Also, Mitchell, only for you, I've found that NASA has found a planet that is 1/3 larger than Earth. And guess what? It has 3 suns. So if you don't find it hot here, go there.
Probably pretty hot there.
Alright, now here's another thing I've been wanting to talk about. We talk about Marvel pretty much, every week, considering this is our second week. Spider-Man, man. If you guys are afraid of spoilers, you might as well just go ahead and And cut it off right here. This has been Weekly Talk featuring Dave and Chris. For everybody else who stays, we're about to spoil the fuck out of some Spider-Man. Alright, what did you think of Far From Home?
So, I enjoyed it. Like, it was a fantastic movie. And the twist that happened, when...
Pissed me off.
It kind of pissed me off. Because, Peter Parker handed over those glasses. And I
knew that he wasn't an ally.
I knew something was going on. In that bar area, I knew something was going on.
Now, keep in mind, guys, we don't read the comics. So I know that we should have known walking in, but we didn't.
Right, exactly. So, once he handed those over, I'm like, okay, well, that's a good move. I mean, Peter Parker doesn't want to be an Avenger
right.
and all this other stuff.
I don't think Peter Parker wants the limelight. I don't think he wants that. I think he wants to be a normal fucking teenage
I think he
kid.
does too, yes. And that's why he was so reluctant to help out the Avengers with this task of Mysterio and all these, sightings of these big monsters or whatever. Granted, he was kind of like pulled into it anyway. But after that scene, I was like mind blown, and to see how he took it into like another reality, and it was crazy. And the end, there's a spoiler obviously at the end of the movie.
So you watched the post credit?
There's 2 post credit scenes. Luckily,
what was the second? So the second one.
Okay,
my man Fury was on vacation.
Okay, second one was confusing as fuck.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
My brother could definitely explain it better, but I guess Nick Fury looked like he was on vacation, and I think he got off the phone or something, and then he stood up, and his vacation area was actually this little pod.
Office.
It was kind of like an office or a pod or whatever. He walked out, and he's in like the galaxy somewhere on like this big spaceship with, a bunch of alien creatures. I don't know the technical name for them. My brother does. But they were all walking around and whatever. And then he walked a little further, looked outside, and it was kind of over. But who he was talking to on the phone was technically himself and...
the alien
exactly.
People. Yeah.
They kind of morphed back to their alien self as they were on the phone.
Because they were trying to make sure that Parker followed the right amount of rules, I guess. Or
exactly.
Guided him in the right direction.
The Nick Fury you saw through the whole thing till the end, I believe was, these alien creatures. Yeah, granted, trying to protect
going back and thinking
them.
About that didn't hit me when I saw that post-credit trailer. I did not even think about that part.
Yeah, it was kind of mind-blowing to me because I'm just looking at this like, what the fuck is going on? And I had asked my brother...
What was the first post-credit trailer?
That was when Peter Parker got exposed.
Oh, yeah. So what are we doing with that? Obviously, we're going into a new Spider-Man. But is it going to be like an era where NYC and pretty much MCU, everybody's against Peter Parker? Or are they trying... They're trying to frame him for, crimes that he did not commit. But what are they doing? What is the general direction that they're heading? Why are they doing this?
Right. Mysterio, had that video that he recorded and exposed Peter Parker for being, basically a murderer. And it wasn't the case because, the video didn't show everything and what was happening. So when he took out Mysterio, that video was already being uploaded to the network. So then it was displayed in, I believe, what were they, New York City or something? They were in some city. It was displayed on the Tron while he was there. He just dropped off MJ or whatever because MJ knew he was Peter Parker and all that other stuff. But his face was flashed on the screen as Peter Parker and his name was. So now everybody knows that Spider-Man is Peter Parker.
For all you guys who watched the movie, think back to the part where Mysterio puts on the shades and Peter Parker's like, oh, you know what? I select you to take the sunglasses because I'm a 16-year-old boy who doesn't want them. Didn't Jake Gyllenhaal look like fucking Tony Stark whenever he had the glasses on? He was on point. I was like, oh, holy shit. So I can understand, as a 16-year-old boy would make a mistake like that. I could see how that could happen. Obviously, it's all fake. I get it. But, a lot of people put their heart and soul into these fucking movies, into where Marvel is going. Marvel is pretty much the number one talked about thing. Find me a workplace where you aren't talking about Avengers, you aren't talking about Marvel, you aren't talking about comics.
I agree. Now, there's actually a article I was reading earlier today, or started to read, I didn't get far into it, where I guess people in the MCU universe are speculating that Tony Stark is actually not dead. That is not confirmed nor denied. I don't know what it is. I have to do more research on kind of figure that out. But I don't know how he wouldn't be dead. I mean, I know you've seen movies before where they fake someone's death, they hold a funeral and all this other stuff. But come on. I feel like he's dead. Unless they somehow regenerate him. Because Iron Man had like a heart or whatever in the center of his chest that kind of kept the suit alive, I believe. So if they take that and bring him back like that, I have no clue. I would have to read that article more to see what's going on with that. But that I just saw that posted earlier today.
All right, so after our last episode, Dave hit me up and he said, yo, some people are trying to claim that maybe Marvel's Avengers wasn't the biggest blockbuster in history. Some people are saying that with accounting for inflation, that Gone with the Wind, go fucking figure, some movie that I know you, if you're listening, you probably haven't watched it.
I agree. Because I believe that movie came out in, 76?
No, that movie came out way before 76. I do know that it was long. 76 was their last, what is that called, re-release.
Oh,
so,
re-release. Yeah, because they had, I don't know how many re-releases.
I think it was over the course of 20 years. So what, 1949 we would say. How about that? We'll go with 1949. Honestly, I can't give you a date and when it filmed, but I can tell you, 1939. Holy fucking shit. Oh my god.
1939.
All right, so what I can say is, I tried to do some research on my own. I tried to figure out how they were saying that this, this was bigger than the Avengers, and it said like $430,000. That's what this film had brought in, $430,000, and I did the math on my own, and from what I got was like $7 billion is what that would equate to in today's dollars. However, what you're reading is I think like 3.5 or maybe 4 billion is what they're saying that it would have equated to be. So since I already don't agree with the numbers they're coming up with, so I don't think that I'm gonna take that I'm not even gonna pay any mind to Gone with the Wind beating Avengers, and I really don't think we can for another 20 or 30 years. Give me 5 more re-releases and see where the Avengers are.
Right, because they only had one re-release, and Gone with the Wind had several. Same with Avatar. Seven re-releases to Avengers 1.
Not to knock Gone with the Wind, but it's not for me. I don't think it's for Dave. I don't think it's for you. I don't think it's for you. It's just, we're in a different era, man. Gone with the Wind, it might have achieved something. I don't know what the movie's about. I can't hate on it. I know that it's not for me. And that's pretty much it. If you've stuck around this far, thank you. I'm happy you're here. We look forward to hearing from you next week. If you need any information on our beat producer, I'll shoot you that, as long as you email me at wtfdaveandchris@gmail.com.
Also, if you want to see that Modern Warfare release trailer for multiplayer, feel free to hit up our Twitter. I did post it a couple days ago, so you should be able to find it on our page. And
go ahead and like us on Twitter. Subscribe to us on YouTube. I'm gonna have to go ahead and say nothing about Facebook. So if there's anybody out there who wants to, control Facebook for us, go ahead and hit me up on Twitter. Otherwise, we're not gonna have one. One last thing for that MGK album giveaway. Your clue, or what? Not even a clue. Here's the rules. When I'm ready to give it away, I'm gonna tell you guys in that episode that I'm gonna give it away. What you're gonna do is you're gonna write down the one thing for each episode. This week's episode is the word I'm. I''M. Okay? So next week, you'll have another thing.
All right, and just to let you know, we're on all platforms as of now. I think we're actually waiting on Apple right now.
Yeah, whatever.
But Google, SoundCloud, YouTube,
all the important
Spotify,
ones.
Exactly. Get our podcast wherever you get your podcast, and follow us.
Keep coming back. Much love. Mwah.
Please remember to subscribe, follow, and email us at WTFDaveandChris@gmail.com.